Alright, guys, so we're going to be talking about the 18th floor of the Porcelain Tower today. And I actually really am excited about this one because this is the first floor where Fryevia really got to show her stuff. So this floor has a lot of bombs and magic damage and stuff, as well as some physical damage from the spearmen, and I believe that the Nagas do physical damage as well. But luckily, what you're gonna see here is Fryevia ended up being perfect for this floor, and that's kind of a contradiction to her normal like feel, right? So she is an ice magic tank in this case, ice element. So she should theoretically be really, really weak to this fire floor. And what we're gonna see is, when she has her buffs up and stuff, that's not really the case. And so she's able to take these pretty big hits, even though she's not max level, and even though, I haven't even gotten her resistance passives or anything that high yet. So, and it's like most of her skills aren't even max level yet. I think most of them aren't even level 10. To be honest, I think usually I get things to like level 10 and then I kind of pass it out. So Miranda, what you'll see is does a fair bit of work early on too. But I'm kind of just using Ayaka and Salir here as healers to just kind of trying to keep people alive. You'll end up seeing here. Luckily, we got some cool dodges and stuff going on. But as we go through the floor, it'll become more apparent that we did need a lot of healing on this. Fryevia as the tank, although she tanked that magic damage really well, the physical damage still really hurts. And obviously there's a ton of stuff on this floor that she can't even tank because she's just not close enough to it, right? So when I originally did the positioning, I did put Fryevia on the left because that was going to be closer to the bombs. I figured the elementals on the right weren't going to be as big of a threat right away because we're going to try and group up here on the left-hand side. So as you'll see, we're kind of trying to pull back a little bit. I did want to try and pick off this guy over here in the bottom right-hand corner with Lucia. And she's 99. She's my only 99 character at the moment, so she's fairly tanky compared to this level 70 floor. And yeah, so we're just using Salir to kind of keep up Freyvia's health while she gets set up. She's got to get through her taunting spell and stuff like that, and then get her magic buffs up. Unfortunately, we did have that big confusion on Miranda, so that kind of sucked. So at this point, I'm looking at the skills that Fryevia has access to and trying to figure out how I can get the most AP. So I can be using things like Chicken Blade or Silence Blade and stuff like that, but also trying to put up her tankiness. Ayaka here is trying to get a big Asuna off on Miranda. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, and she will end up taking a big L for us pretty early on in the fight, which is pretty unfortunate considering, she's the right element for this floor. So as you can see, one of my best damage dealing units didn't really do a whole lot. And so we kind of end up doing a bit of run and gunning with Lucia and, just slowly whittling down the enemies over time. And luckily, Fryevia is able to hold on while Salir is healing her and stuff. Salir, as we probably saw earlier, she's 89. Ayaka is only 79, so Salir's heals are a bit stronger than Ayaka, in case you're wondering why I'm healing with her instead of Ayaka. She just doesn't have the healing power that I really need. And I think I haven't leveled her skills up actually as much as Salir too, which is part of the reason why she can't heal as much. Gil, man. Gil's a real problem for me in like every Final Fantasy game. So I kind of debated here going for a little extra damage or if I was going to try and heal. Healing ended up being the right call. There's just so many units around us right now that, even as tanky as Fryevia is trying to make herself, there's just a lot going on. And so that this way Ayaka can just focus on healing her and Lucia. instead of having to heal the tank, which will give us a few more turns. And, realistically, what we're just trying to do here is I didn't actually think we were going to be clearing it on this attempt. I just kind of assumed that what was going to happen was I was going to try and clear as many as I could, and then hopefully we could move on and clear the actual floor on the next attempt. But as you can see, we actually did end up clearing it all in one attempt here. So big Curata there, and things are starting to get upset at Ayaka. We did get a confusion on Lucia there, and then actually we're gonna get a big Asuna off, which is gonna be pretty clutch. Because had she gone around starting to murdering people, it would have been all bad. Luckily, Ayaka was actually able to take a fair bit of hits here. I was curious if I could just kill that unit so that way it wouldn't be attacking me later, but I ended up going for the heal. It just seemed like the right thing to do at the time. I think it probably still was, because I think at this point, as soon as being cast by Salir, so we're going to try and clear Lucia's stuff and then give her a little bit of heal at the same time. That big tanky Ayaka coming in clutch there too. I was trying to wait to use the AoE like party debuff to a point where like I could hit Salir too, but it just didn't end up happening that way, unfortunately, because the way we were positioned and the way the mobs were standing, I couldn't really get her into place without trying to take away too much of her time. And so we did go in for a big spell here. I looked at the action order and I could see that before it actually went off, Ayaka was going to get to move, so I was hoping I could move into that spot with Lucia. As you'll see in a second, there's a bit of a complication with that plan, but it does end up working out for us. So I target the panel there, so hopefully I could do as much damage with Salir as I could in that one turn. And like I said, it does end up working out for us, so I was kind of debating, I was like, so what do I do? How can I move here? Because I need to get Ayaka out of there, otherwise she's going to die. And so I actually went and attacked the guy to my right, so that way Ayaka could step over his dead body, and then I was able to move up here to the left, as you'll see in a second. But I'm just kind of going through the different abilities, like, what could I do? What could I clear here? And trying to figure out, like, where can I get Ayaka a safe spot to stand? Alright, so like I said, we were able to actually clear that guy next to us and then move up the hill, so that way we could give Ayaka a place to run to. So she will be dodging that big Salir blast coming up in a few turns or whatever. And as you can see, that's going to do a lot of really good stuff for us as far as taking out some of those units. Of course, we wanted to try and keep the heals up on Ayaka, but unfortunately she did end up dying there. So now we're just down to Lucia, Fryevia, and Salir. I was debating whether or not I wanted to try and go with like Chicken Blade here or something to just try and get them to stop attacking for a turn, and so I could catch my breath a little bit. But actually, as you'll see, going for the magic resistance and the heal was a good play. Unlucky for us too, Lucia was able to take that shot for us, because it does look like either the taunt spell wore off or just out of range. And I can honestly say, like, as somebody who uses Nasha as their regular physical tank, if I had used Nasha in this fight, she would have died. For sure. Guaranteed. Pretty early on, probably. With her taking extra, I believe she takes extra magic damage. And on top of that, not really being able to mitigate in the same way, I think would have made her, really struggle on this floor. Luckily, we were able to get the crit there, so we could finish that guy off. And again, keep moving Lucia away from Fryevia, so that way, she's not getting hit by the incidental AoE. Taunting spell to get more hate up, make sure everyone that is targeting her that can. And then just keeping up the heals and kind of mowing people down as they come one by one. We have a few more bombs left and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that if, as somebody who either had to use, Fryevia or Nasha, Fryevia was clearly the better choice here. And it just kind of gives a good representation of what she can actually do for you as a magic tank. Even though that might not be how most people end up using her, I think that she excels pretty well at it. With all of her damage mitigation, and like I said at the beginning of the video, we don't even have her mitigation leveled up to half, I think, at this point in time. Like, I think one of her passives is at 10 and the other one's still at like 1 or 2. So she could have been a lot tankier for magic here than we even have her yet. She'll get there at some point. I'm really looking forward to doing a review of her, when I get her to max level. At this point, I've decided that I, for sure, am going to try and max level her. And by the way, I used the Esper right here just because I just wanted some extra AoE damage. Lucia is kind of lacking in the AoE damage department, so I just wanted to try and keep, getting these units out as quick as possible. But anyway, so yeah, we will be doing a max level Fryevia review hopefully in the coming, week or so. I'm really hoping that I can get pretty lucky with the shops, and if we're close, then we'll maybe see if we can, if we need to do like a pull or two to try and, get another one for last minute shards or something. For those of you that have been lucky enough to get her, and if you're investing in her, I think she is a great magic tank, and I think she will be one of the better magic tanks in the future as well. Just because the way her damage mitigation works differently than just stacking like Spirit. And it also helps in cases like this where your elemental resistance might be the opposite, right? So she's able to take these big fire hits, which on a normal magic tank or on a normal, tank that's using like Spirit to mitigate the damage would still be hurting quite a bit. And she can just put up those big resistances. Kind of think of her as a Whisper magic tank, right? So Whisper is really cool because she can do all that crazy, physical damage mitigation, and so with Fryevia, she does the same thing but for magic. And yeah, so as you can see, we're kind of down to the last couple of units here. Lucia does end up dying, but we are able to finish it off with Salir and Fryevia. And yeah, I know this is kind of a rushed commentary for this video. I did just want to get this out for you guys, because I know some of you are probably trying to do these later floors and just kind of trying to show off what Fryevia could really do for this role that she's able to fulfill. And for me, it's just kind of a really cool like moment where I went from wanting to boycott this unit to accidentally getting her when I was pulling for Rain, the other magic tank. And then getting her, and then trying to make, lemonade out of lemons. And I feel like she's made, maybe some of the best lemonade I've ever had, kind of thing. So I really love her, and I'm really looking forward to using her more in the future. And yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. If you guys love seeing Fryevia in action as much as I do, hit that like button, and I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Peace out.